Hello. Today is a really good day. Why? Because today we get to dunk on Mr. Lindsey Graham, and that's always a fun time. So Lindsey Graham recently came out, and as you will see in this video that I'm about to play, he's extremely distraught. He's so saddened and upset. Just listen to the trembling in his voice. Why, you may ask? Because of President Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Take a look.
It's the most incompetent decision made since 9/11. It's paving the way for another 9/11 against our homeland and our allies, and it was all so preventable. I've known Joe Biden for a long time. I had a good personal relationship with him. He's a decent man, but what he did in Afghanistan, I will never forgive him for. He has blood on his hands, and he's made America less safe. And he's been the most consistently wrong man on foreign policy in my lifetime. And I can't wait to the next election to stop this socialist train on the domestic side and have a chance to get a commander-in-chief that knows how to keep this country safe. When it comes to Joe Biden, he's made America less safe. He's acted in a very dishonorable way. And to all the veterans who served in Afghanistan, I know you're hurting, and you have a reason to be hurting.
Oh, 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 my heart, it bleeds. My heart bleeds for him. Oh no, oh God. I mean, it's just, guys, I have bad news. We can't occupy a region anymore and terrorize the people that live there and bomb innocent civilians, women, and babies. We can't, oh God, we can't leave our soldiers in that area of the world anymore and wreak havoc and kill even more people than we did in the previous 20 years that we were there, where we accomplished nothing. Oh, it hurts. We can't do that anymore. We can't commit murder. Can't you hear the pain in my voice? I'm on the verge of crying. Oh my goodness. Let's get serious. This guy's a joke. He says that, I mean, there's so much to unpackage here, but I'll try to be brief. Look, he's trying to promote a narrative. The narrative is that we, the U.S., the United States of America, are the universal police. We have the right to occupy. And I say occupy because it's not really wars anymore. You know, it's not really a war. People say the Afghanistan war. There was no war. Okay, we weren't fighting for a cause or anything in particular. And I'll tell you what we were actually there for towards the end of this video. But it's these occupations, right? And we know that Afghanistan is really rich in mineral wealth, things that are in your iPhones, different devices and what have you. In places like Syria or Iraq, it might be oil. But there's always things there that would benefit us, that move us in the direction of being there, whether it be that, geopolitical gain, whatever the thing may be that leads to our supposed occupation. But this guy, he comes in with his propaganda and says, oh, no. Us withdrawing, that's paving another way for 9/11. What? Excuse me? So because we withdrew from Afghanistan after 20 years accomplishing nothing, right? That's paving the way for another 9/11. So because we withdrew from Afghanistan, the Taliban is going to airstrike Baltimore. That's like saying 2 + 2 = 9. It doesn't. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I just don't understand it. Look, to pave the way for another 9/11, you know what creates that kind of terror? Being in these areas of the world, bombing the populations there, committing our own terror. We're the terrorists in this situation. And you know what happens as a result? You kill the family of some young child in Afghanistan. That young child sees that it was an American drone, American plane, American soldier that killed the people that he loved. He goes, okay, that stirs up hatred, vitriol, angst, vengeance. He grows up, he becomes a terrorist. He joins the terrorist groups that are proliferating in these areas of the world, and they turn their anger towards who? The people that caused it. So how do you stop this sort of stuff? Get the fuck out of there and stop terrorizing these people. But no, not to Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham says that President Joe Biden has blood on his hands. He does. But guess what? So does every other American president that came before him, including the one that you commit your subservience to, Mr. Donald Trump. Need I remind you that Mr. Donald Trump was one of the, I mean, he was a war criminal himself. His first military action as president resulted in the death of a young Yemeni girl. Yeah. He recklessly killed in, I believe it was the Iranian General Soleimani, almost sparking another world war. If you think that that's hyperbolic and fanatical, look up what caused the First World War. A random archduke was murdered, and then everybody said, fuck it. It doesn't take much, guys. It really doesn't. He says that he's the most consistently wrong man on foreign policy. So I take it that George W. Bush just didn't exist. I don't know what to take from this other than Lindsey Graham is a fucking idiot. He says that, and I love how he threw socialism in there. You know, these fucking Republicans, man, these conservatives, especially the really hyperbolic and fanatical ones, anything that they don't like, socialism, communism, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Workers getting higher wages. Look at this socialism bullshit. So this guy wants to go from making $8 to making 15 or 20. Are you kidding me? Is this a Stalin era? Like they lose their minds. Referring to the Afghan pullout as a socialistic kind of maneuver. It makes absolutely no sense, this guy. But this is what we expect from him. And then I love this part the most. The veterans that served in Afghanistan, they're hurting. Yeah, they're hurting real bad, Lindsey. They're hurting because they can't, commit more atrocities on behalf of the U.S. government and the entities that fund them. Raytheon, Boeing, Halliburton, etc. Yeah, they're hurting that they have to be away from their families for extended periods of time. And for what? For what? I'll tell you for what. So not too long ago, back in August, The Intercept published an article that really laid out for you who were the big players in this entire Afghanistan situation and who is or was making the most money. And it really went into deep detail of the ins and outs of this. And I'll link it down below, but I'll just give you a quick description of it. So if you purchase, and this is from The Intercept, $10,000 of stock evenly divided among America's top 5 defense contractors on September 18, 2001, the day President George W. Bush signed the authorization for use of military force in response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks and faithfully reinvested all dividends, it would now be worth $97,295. This is a far greater return than was available in the overall stock market over the same period. $10,000 invested in an S&P 500 index fund on September 18, 2001 would now be worth $61,613. That is, defense stocks outperformed the stock market overall by 58% during the Afghanistan war. Seems like there's a correlation there. Moreover, given that the top 5 biggest defense contractors, Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and General Dynamics are, of course, part of the S&P 500, the remaining firms and lower returns than the overall S&P returns. These numbers suggest that it is incorrect to conclude that the Taliban's immediate takeover of Afghanistan upon the U.S.'s departure means that the Afghanistan war was a failure. On the contrary, from the perspective of some of the most powerful people in the U.S., it may have been an extraordinary success. Notably, the boards of directors of all 5 defense contractors included retired top-level military officers. And this article goes on to really break down the people that really saw great benefit. Like, I just give you an example here. Boeing, their total return, 974.97%. Raytheon, 331.49%. Lockheed Martin, 1,200% in return. Look, man, and it shows you their annualized return. Look, it's a shit show. It's a shit show. It's incredibly corrupt. These are the people that won. Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, these are the people that won in the Afghanistan war. You know who lost? All the people that died, all the soldiers that had to be away from their families, the taxpayers, you and me, who are continuously being robbed. Our taxes are being funded to create bombs that they're going to drop in the middle of nowhere to kill innocent women and children. That's what this is all about. Lindsey Graham is a fucking joke. This guy's an actor. He deserves an Oscar for this performance because it was absolutely glorious.